Good morning. I think this is video number 4 or 5. I've lost track already. I'm just thinking this morning that you're going to really get to know my scarf collection and my warm layers really well. It is the middle of winter here, and it's really cold in my house. I live a kind of a rustic life out here in the country, and we don't have electric heat per se. We use a fireplace, like a wood cook stove, for heat in the winter. And overnight it got very frosty, and that made, that just makes it pretty cold in here in the morning, especially when we're not prepared for it and we didn't know it was coming, because we've been out of internet and telephone for a while too. We've had some crazy storms this year. And yeah, I was thinking about that, about it is kind of a rustic life, and I've always loved it. And what we do for holidays is we go and stay in a nice hotel somewhere. So we have, you can just push a button on a wall and get heat. It's awesome. And there's television and, also in a city, things to do, shows to go to and stuff that we don't do here in the country. And it's a real culture shock in a way to come back to living this way. I was going to say off the grid, but that's not really what it is. It's a more, it feels like, to me, it feels more real, more connected. If it's raining out, we know it's raining. It's not like you can't hear it or something. If it's really raining, it keeps us up at night. And the wind and the sun and the light and the dark, it's just all really right here and really present. And it means that, I don't know, I really like living this way because I have to go outside more frequently. There are things to do, and it's more, I said that already. It just feels real. It's like everything is much, when you're in a city or in a house, which is kind of like a city in miniature, it's almost like living in an ego box. It's very, it's kind of like all being in your head all the time. Out here, it's much more physical. It's much more grounded in reality. When you want heat, you're really aware of where that heat's coming from and what you have to do to make it happen. And when you want water, you're really aware of where that water's coming from and how much you have left. And, the ecology of what's going into your water supply and how much water you're using on a daily basis. And it's kind of like a mindfulness practice for being in a body on the earth. It's so easy when you're in a city to just kind of numb out and live in your head all the time, or in a house that's like a standard Western North American house where, there's a flush toilet just outside every room, and you turn on lights and turn off lights and flick the heat on and off. And I don't know, it's a way that's kind of like divorced from real life. And it's easy to get out of the body in that kind of state and into the head, because nothing's really happening around you that you have to attend to. Most of what's happening is in your head. Like, how do I say this? when the fire goes out and it gets cold, you're really brought back into the present moment and into your body, and your body's going, okay, it's cold. And the present moment is going, okay, time to go out and chop some wood or stack the wood box up or light a fire or whatever. And it's, like those Zen meditation sessions that they have, the monks, there will be somebody who comes around and rings a bell from time to time, or even if somebody looks like they're drifting, they just kind of swat them on the back of the head. It's for advanced practitioners. It's kind of like that. It's like a wake-up bell to bring you back into the moment and back onto the planet and back into your body. And I just find that really effective. It's helpful to me, and I love living. It's like living closer to nature. Whenever there's, like I say, when there's weather, when there's light, when there's dark, we have skylights. We see the moon going overhead. The sun comes in the morning, wakes us up at ungodly hours in the middle of the summer, and I just feel more connected to the world and to nature and to real life. And I don't think it's necessary to live this way, to have conscious awareness or to have mindfulness or whatever. But I find that it helps me. And consequently, this is kind of just the long way of saying, you're really going to get to know my various layers of warm turtlenecks and scarves and the fuzzy layers that I put on for the really cold days. And that's pretty much all I have to say. It's been like 4 or 5 days now that I've been doing this, and I'm finding that it's a bit more of a challenge to fit it in, it's like meditation for me. This is kind of like a meditation practice where I'm trying not to fit it into my life, but trying to build my life around it. And for the first few days, that was kind of easy. I had created space for it. But as life goes on, and there's more and more that that's calling me every day to get up and get out and start taking action. Especially on a day like today, it's sunny out there. It's frosty, but the sun's really calling me. We haven't seen it in a while. It's just I'm noticing that it's taking more commitment or sort of like problem solving or planning, I guess would be a better word, to make space for this and continue this practice going. So that's what I have to share today, and I'm gonna go and get warm now and get that fire stoked up, and I hope you're having a lovely day too, and I will see you tomorrow. Blessed be.